Or wait 15 minutes. Well, good morning. Welcome everyone to this Google Digital Garage training session, which is all about how to manage your digital footprint to help you with your job search. My name's Christine and I'm one of the trainers here on Google's free skills training program, the Google Digital Garage. I'm a marketeer by trade and have worked my way up since starting as a marketeer in a company that thought if they ignored the internet that it might go away. And in that time, I have actually been lucky enough to be on both sides of the job search process. And currently now I do help out quite a bit with people looking for new employees. So I'm hoping to bring you a little bit of that expertise as we go through today. Alongside me, I have the lovely Francois, who is in our chat right now. He is our moderator. So as we go through, we've got a short session for you. So do feel free to make the best use of Francois. Ask him any questions as we go through. He'll really be able to help and elaborate on what it is we are talking about. All right then, so we're only going to take a look at two things quickly for you today. A real, hopefully, little bit of a power jolt to help you to improve, go away and do some thinking around how you're going to appear online. When we think about applying for roles and building a career, we've got various ways that we can be found. We've got that we have a CV, which will put us on paper. We might have an interview and meet people in person. But we also have our online presence, how we are found online. So we're going to spend a little bit of time just understanding that digital footprint, understanding how we can appear online. And then we're going to take a look at a way that you can evaluate your social media to make sure it is giving the absolute best version of yourself and take it a step further to make it attractive to potential companies and recruiters. So first up, let's just understand a little bit about what we mean when we're talking about that digital footprint. Because I want you to put yourself in the shoes of a recruiter. I'm recruiting for a job. I have lots of applicants, maybe, and I've got to find a way of trying to work out which people, before I spend time and meet them, which people might be a good fit. So one of the first things I'm going to do is, as a recruiter, I'm going to search for the people who have applied for the role, who maybe I've gone through the CVs or the applications. I'll do my first sift. Some so go straight into the no pile, some go into the maybes. Then I'll do a little bit more work on those maybes. And sometimes people think, well, the best thing to do is completely avoid social media, because 57% of recruiters say that when they've done a search, they have discovered something that caused them not to hire a particular person. All right. So most of our recruiters are giving you a quick check before they meet you, see what they can find out about you. And actually 57% of them say that they have discovered something that caused them not to hire something. So you might think, right, well, I'm just not going to have any social media presence at all. But actually, when that recruiter makes that search, why not take control of what's out there and make sure it's giving us the absolute best chance of going into this is the kind of person I want to meet. So just because people say that they have decided not to hire a particular person, I bet they'll also say that it has encouraged them to invite other people in to meet them. So what you want to be looking at is creating an attractive professional image online. So your digital footprint is kind of all the information that exists online, whether that's you as a person, whether it's that company as the brand, or an organization. So you'll be doing the flip side. You'll be looking at the digital footprint of the particular employer when you're doing your job searches, I'm sure. Everything we do on the internet leaves a trace. Some of it's intentional, our social media posts we want to get out there. Some of it, we might not have even thought about. But what's really important is open up that Google window and give it a search and see what could be found about you. All right? Because when you're applying for jobs, it's really important you pay attention to your brand, what you're putting out there into the world, of what's findable about you. So you want to be thinking there's some content we can control. We can control the content that we share. We can control if somebody finds us the kind of pages we follow. And we can also control the posts that other people tag us in. All right, so have a look at your social profiles. If somebody found you, are you following the company you keep or the pages you follow? Are they of the sort that you would be proud and happy that your employer might see that you did? The content you're sharing, is it professional? Is it showing you in the best possible light? Okay. Your digital footprint, really, the part of the online presence we're thinking about is if somebody searches for you by name. Now, I'm in a position where if somebody searches for me by name, they actually find somebody fairly senior in a different profession with the same name as me. But if they were to search by my name and my location, or my name and digital marketing, and so narrowing it down a bit into the field that you work in, what are they going to find? Okay. Because recruiters, that's exactly what they're going to do. Let's take a think. Thinking about that, think about your social media. All right. So social media is one of the simplest ways we have to actually improve what's findable about us, because it is a huge bonus to be findable during that job search process. Okay. So think about the platforms you use. Who's in your network? Who are you interacting with? Networks are fantastic when you are job searching, to making sure that people are finding you, that you are findable, that people out there know that you are looking for a role and that maybe they have a connection. Networks are really powerful things. What's going to make you stand out for the right reasons to those recruiters? Okay. Which channels are going? So think about the channels you're on. Are there any channels where a recruiter might expect to see somebody like you? We talk about LinkedIn is one of those channels, but also for your network, it might be findable on Instagram, findable on Twitter, wherever it is. Think about the type of channels that help you to share the type of content you want to see, and then make your links, your bios, make yourself findable by your name and your industry, or your name and your location. And then think about the privacy on some of your other channels. I have my Facebook, for example, completely locked down. So it's it's just for me and my family. For my professional profile, LinkedIn or Twitter might be the right place for me to be findable. So I make sure I'm very consciously making those decisions, because, as we've said, social media will be looked at by potential employers. So when you're posting, just in general, but especially when you're thinking about your job search, be very careful about what you post. Don't post confidential information, because that information is findable. Make sure that your content accurately reflects your values. Be very careful before you reshare any kinds of content that might show that maybe they're not. Something that might be posted in light-hearted actually might not come across when seen in the cold light of day. So make sure you're avoiding discriminatory, hate speeches, because who you are in day-to-day life, that's the person they're inviting into their work environment. They want to make sure that the people that they are employing are going to reflect the values that they want to see. Never, ever, ever post anything showing or supporting anything illegal, for example. And be really, really careful when talking about previous employers. Okay. If you leave reviews, for example, on something like a Glassdoor, you can leave an anonymous review, but be very careful that you're not seen to be bad-mouthing a former employer, simply because, people will think, oh, well, if they've talked badly about that employer, well, they're going to say something about me like it. Keep to the facts. Avoid anything slanderous. Avoid any bad language, and just try to be a little bit circumspect when you're thinking about any kind of posting about previous employers. Try and be as positive a presence as you can, because that's who they're going to want to invite into their organisation. In terms of being in those social media platforms, to get yourself noticed, the best way is to be active. So connecting and engaging with people in your networks. If you see something interesting, sharing it. That's amplifying what other people have written. It's also writing your own thoughts and feelings on other people's content, as well as coming up with your own interesting thoughts as well. If you want to stand out to those potential employers, look like when they search for you, somebody who is interested and engaged in what it is that you're going for work. Engage with the kinds of companies that interest you. That might be geographically all the companies that are near to you, or if you were in a particular field, engaging with the companies around the country or even around the world that you would love to be working with and associated with. Sharing information about your field, sharing information about things that engage you. But don't be afraid to show off a little bit of your personality. They're not looking for robots. They're looking for those personalities that are going to fit well in their industry. So there we are. As we wrap up our session, let's just take this one a little bit back. I wanted to think a little bit more about that personality side of things. What do you want the recruiter to know about you? All right, think about across the whole range of those interactions. Do you want them to see that you're super fun, very serious, that you're always thinking, that you're always planning? Do you want to, show that even though maybe you're fairly junior in your industry, you're ready to take that next step up? You can engage with people. Most of the things that recruiters are looking for when they are looking for employees, it's not just a person who can do the job. It's a person who can grow with the company, a person who's really interested to be there. Remember, they're getting a stack of applications, and they need to first of all take those down to a manageable number to look into a bit more deeply. From that manageable maybe pile, they want to bring that down to a few people that they are actually going to engage with and bring in for interview, or do a face-to-face or a telephone, or ask for more information. So for them to invest that time in you, you've got to give them a reason, give them a flavour of your personality. First thing you want your social media profile to do is not to, so if we think about your digital footprint, first thing you want to do is to clean it up. Make sure there's no silly videos attributable to you from, when you were at college or something. Make sure that anything you're tagged in, use your privacy to make sure that you are only tagged in content that you would be proud to represent you. All right. Make sure that everything is neat and tidy, but don't shy away from the opportunity. Make sure that you use the wonderful behaviors that says, I'm going to search for somebody. Make sure you are findable. If you want to learn more about how to get your message out there, join us for some of our social media sessions. They might be more tailored toward businesses, but you can really learn the techniques to get those messages out there. All right, let's just see. I'm going to check in with Fran. I can see that he's all sorted for questions. So what we will do is get you to think about, as I say, what are you going to do to clean up your digital footprint? You can, and make sure you're in the best possible position. Let Fran know in the chat what it is, if there's anything that you're going to do differently. What action has that sparked? If we let's be our own accountability buddies. Make sure that we are taking a positive action from your time that we've spent together today, which is sadly about to come to an end. I hope it's been a little bit of an interesting starter for you for those digital footprints. I wish you so much luck with your job search. Mentioned it previously, but if you're interested in learning more from Google Digital Garage, as I say, we've got lots of webinars to help you with your job search, but also to help you with your wider career. So check out some of our business content as well, because that can use those same branding principles for your own job search. Check out the link in the description below, takes you through to our website, shows you everything that we have to offer. But we have run out of time, so thank you for joining me today. We wish you all of the luck in the world with your job search, and we hope to welcome you again to another Google Digital Garage training session sometime soon. Have a great day.